translate this sequence into another sequence of symbols. Just like we're grouping 0, 1 to yesterday into another symbols, or in the homework assignment, we group two guys into a newer symbols, right? We can do the same thing, okay? And the way we form the newer symbols is this. We're going to encode the size of the values, okay? Which means how many bits we need to encode that numbers. And then the run length before it, okay? So for example, this is the number of consecutive zeros before the current non-zero symbols. For example, if I'm at 5, this run length will be 2, okay? Because I have 2 0 in front of me. If I'm at -3, the run will be 1, okay? If I'm 1, the run will be 5, so on and so forth, okay? And the size here is the number of bits needed to encode this current non-zero symbols, okay? And then followed by the amplitude of the exact value, okay? We need to transmit the value over, correct? So in using this example, I'm going to be able to do this, okay? The first symbols that I have will be 0, 4, 14, okay? Why 0? I'm the first, right? I don't have any 0 in front of me. So it's 0. Why 4? You need 4 bits to describe 14, correct? Okay. Now we have to be careful too because we have to deal with the sign. Okay. But let's delay it for 1 minute, and it will be clear, right? So 0, 4, 14, and then guess who's going to come up next? Can somebody read out the next symbol for me?
2, 3, 5.
2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. Correct? 2, 3, 5. Okay? Because I have 2, 0 in front of me, I need 3 bits to describe 5. Okay? What is the next guy? 1, 2, -3. Okay? I need 2 bits to describe. Let's just think about the amplitude only, the absolute value only. Okay? So I need 2 bits to represent 3. Okay? And then I need 5, 1, 1. I need 5, 1, 1. Okay? To describe this guy. And then I need 14. Right? 1, -1. Correct? And then what would you suggest me to do with these 37? Yeah, right. 0, 0, 0 or something like that. Okay? And it turns out that this is a spatial symbol because it's at the end of the string. So this indicates this is the end of this block. Okay, so this is the end of block symbols in JPEG. Okay, 0, 0 here. This is a spatial symbol. So this is it. This is our new sequence of symbols. Okay, and we're going to feed this through Huffman and arithmetic coding. Okay, we're going to feed this through Huffman and arithmetic coding. We don't feed these. Okay, so this is how run length coding is being done. Now, let's talk a little bit about the binary values that follow the run length and the size, okay? So, the binary values that describe 14, 5, -3, 1, so on and so forth, has this form. You need a sign bit, right? Because it can be negative. The coefficient can be negative, okay? And then you need the most significant bit all the way to the least significant bit, right? Now, this most significant bit, you never have to do anything interesting because it's always 1, correct? The most significant bits of anything, especially when you have variable length like that, will always be 1. Okay, for example, 5 would be 1, 0, 1, correct? It's always 1. So you don't need to encode this, but you need to encode the rest, okay? And in a sense, what I'm trying to do is just exactly this. This is the table lookup, okay? If you have 1, you actually, if you have 1, then all you need to encode is positive values, right? Which is 0. If it's -1, you need right here, okay? And we don't have any most significant bit, least significant bit to deal with, okay? So only this. So as you can see, this is simply a table lookup operation, okay? If it's, let's take 4 as an example, okay? 4 as an example. How do I get 0, 0, 0? First, my sign bit is 0. Okay? And then I have 1, 0, 0, but the most significant bits, I don't need to encode, right? So I only have 0, 0, which is here and here. Okay? And if you continue going on, you're going to be able to expand this table and being able to see this is a one-to-one mapping. This is a one-to-one mapping. There's no confusion whatsoever. Okay? I can always go from here back to here, or from here to here. Okay? Or, well, you figure it out. Okay, first you need a 0, and then 14 is what? 8 plus 4 plus 2, right? Okay? But you don't need the first significant bit of 8. You only need 4 and 2. Okay? So, if you want to do it by formula, this is the formula. This is the formula. This is how we binarize. We translate number to binary. Okay, this is one way of doing it. So if I do encode this, these guys, okay, are raw binary. They get encoded like this. Okay? And then these guys will go through Huffman or arithmetic coding. Okay? Now, we don't pass these raw binary into Huffman and arithmetic coder because they behave in a pretty much random fashion. They're just, okay, these are the values of the coefficients, and most of the time, if you have a good transform up front, there's just not much that I can do to predict the behavior of the coefficients. Okay, so that's why we just do raw binary here, and we only encode Huffman and arithmetic these symbols because they actually have some redundancy effects. Okay, so this is how we do run next coding, and that finishes up the lossless coding part. Okay, from now on, we're going to start with the Q box. Okay, so we will try to investigate this lossy operator. Okay, this operator allows us to throw away information and trade off with the reconstruction quality versus bit rate. Okay, so we finish this part, and we're going to start talking about quantization here. So entropy coding techniques perform lossless coding, but it doesn't have any flexibility in trading off. Okay? You are hoping to be lucky, that's all. And in practice, with images we saw yesterday, like Lena and Barbara, so on and so forth, even those Glasgow frames, the maximum you can do with lossless coding is roughly around 2 to 1. No more. 2 to 1. Okay? Because it's a very tight constraint, right? We have to be able to recover exactly what's being fed in. So there's just not much flexibility. Now, quantization is a lossy, nonlinear mapping operations, okay, that throw away information, and it has the two main applications for quantization is A to D conversion is one, and then compression is the other. Yes. Questions? Okay, so this is how a quantizer works. Okay, this is the Q box, which is at the encoder. Okay, X is the input coming in. It lives in the real space. Okay, so typically, and then the output is typically in the integer space or binary space or some finite precision space. Okay, so the forward quantizer is basically a mapping technique. Okay, if you happen to be from here to here, if you live in this space, in the R line, okay, you get mapped to this quantization step size, which is 1, 0, 0. So if you are from xi minus 1 to xi, okay, then the output will be 1, 0, 0. Okay. Okay. So here I put binary, but you can imagine you can translate that to decimal if you want. Okay. So this is called a quantization cell or a quantization bin or a quantization interval. Okay. And you get translated to here. Okay. So the mathematical operation is this. Okay. When x belongs to that interval, then y, the output y is just yi. Okay. Now, the size of the interval is called the quantization step size. Okay. And this is extremely important because the step size determines the amount of information that you'll be throwing away, right? If you have a large quantization step size, you would imagine that there's a lot of confusion, right? At the decoder, it knows that, okay, the original symbols live somewhere in there, but it doesn't know exactly where it is, correct? Okay? So it will have to try to estimate it somehow, okay? And that's the goal of the inverse quantizer. So this is called the quantization level, or sometimes we call it code word. And this is the clipping or overflow region where you might be running out of space, okay? Now in compression, we almost never run into this situation because we can always find out what is the maximum. We have an input that is range limited, right? So we always know the behavior of our maximum coefficients and our minimum coefficients. Okay, so we will be able to design the quantizer appropriately. Okay, this is mainly a problem in A/D conversion, for example, where you don't have you don't know the range of your input beforehand. Okay, so that can be solved. Now, the inverse quantizer is doing this. Okay, so intuitively, the inverse quantizer receives the y, which is, for example, this guy here. Okay, and it will figure out that so the original guys live somewhere in this neighborhood, right? It will live somewhere in this neighborhood. Okay, but exactly how do you reconstruct the x hat? You have to make a guess, right? You don't have any other information. You just have to make a guess. What is a sensible thing to do? What is a reasonable thing to do? Put it in the middle, right? Why putting it in the middle? Why not just here?